Hey there. Oh, what's going on tonight? Karl here with another edition of Inside the Family. And this is our weekly Facebook Live broadcast show where we come to you every single Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to help us all move together forward in our health and our wellness and our creating healthy families, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And so I'm excited to be here with you. If you are joining me right now, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to talk with you. Go ahead and jot in where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear it. And maybe even write, if you're up for it, write what you're excited about tonight. I'm excited to be with you, and we're going to talk about some really fun stuff. And tonight is our lead-in for March is content. In March, we're going to be talking about how to create a extremely healthy family. Now, a lot of us on a Fit Family page are family members, right? We're mothers, we're fathers, we're aunts, we're uncles, we're brothers, we're sisters, right? There's a lot of interesting things that go on with families and dynamics. But specifically with your family, have you ever thought about how to create a extremely healthy family? Okay, and what does that mean? Because that term healthy can mean a lot of different things, a lot of different people. And, applying that to your family can mean different things to different people in your family, let alone to the broader scale. So tonight we're going to talk about that. And actually, before we get started, or you can do it right now while we're going, or you can do it afterwards. Above, I believe above this video in the description, there's a link to a quick 2-question input thing that we'd love to hear from you. And basically, we want to hear what you're interested in learning about in creating a healthy family. Are you experiencing any problems right now? Maybe you want to get healthy, and maybe you want to improve your energy and wake up before your alarm clock goes off. But maybe other people in your family don't want to do that as much as you do. And so maybe you feel a little bit of an internal struggle, an internal conflict about, when you have to sit down at dinner time and everyone in the family wants to eat lasagna, right? Homemade lasagna, which is amazing. And I'm from the Midwest in Minnesota, and so we're all about the deep dishes. That's how I grew up. I don't eat much of that anymore, but for a long time we ate a lot of lasagna, a lot of deep dishes, and a lot of other really good things. So maybe the family wants to eat things like that, but also maybe you don't. Maybe you want to eat a little bit healthier things like fresh salmon and asparagus, right? Cooked in olive oil with basil, and other healthy ways that go about improving your nutrition and your energy. So if you would take 2 minutes and click on that link and go ahead and fill out those 2 questions, because here's what we're going to do in March. We're going to talk about how to create healthy families, and every single week we're going to cover a new topic. Okay, so throughout the week it's going to be a 4-part series in March on creating healthy families. And not to be so ignorant as to think we know what you need or what you want. That's why we want to hear from you. We want to know what you need, right? We want to know what you're looking for. What have you experienced? Some of the things that we come across all the time, and let me know if you can relate with this, but a lot of the people that we see every day at our local business, our nutrition club where we make healthy smoothies for people. Like yesterday we saw 123 people. Today we saw 102 people. So we're seeing and talking to a ton of people every single week. I mean, that's thousands and thousands and thousands of people every few months, and every tens of thousands every year. And so we hear a lot of the same problems, and let me know if you can relate with this, but a lot of the issues that we find is that one person in the family wants to make changes because for whatever reason they're unsatisfied. They want more energy. Maybe they got made fun of by their friends. Maybe their boss made a comment about their weight. Or maybe it's just an internal issue of stepping on a scale every morning and feel disappointed, looking in the mirror and not being happy with what you see, and some of these deep-rooted emotional issues that we can have around our weight and around our health and wellness. So if that is maybe something you've experienced or are looking to change and the rest of the family isn't on board with that, that can be tough. That's one thing we see. Another thing that we see is time. Time is limited, right? When you have kids, and you're running around town to activities. I just played hockey this last Sunday in our men's league team, and most of the guys on my team are dads, and so we just kind of BSing in the locker room, before and after we skate. It's really fun. And anyways, one of the things that's really tough is to find time to cook healthy meals, like to actually get every person in the family to sit down at the dinner table and eat a healthy meal can sometimes be extremely difficult. So that's another thing that we hear all the time. Time is limited. So, how do you make fast food that's really healthy? Food that doesn't take a lot of time to create, but also serves your family, serves your health and your energy and your goals and your soul, so you feel good about eating it, right? So that's another thing that we might be talking about. But again, we want to hear from you and what you want to learn about. So go ahead and fill out that 2-question survey per se, or 2-question link. Click on the link above and let us know what your thoughts are. And it's really exciting for us this month, in the month of March, to talk about creating healthy, extremely healthy families, because that's what we are, and that's really what we are working at doing, right? We have a almost 2-year-old son. He's going to be 2 in, just a month or two. And so it's really crazy. It's fun to be able to grow as a family. And, you have to make choices every single day about the health of your family. And some days you win, some days maybe, you don't do as well as you would like to, and other days you just knock it out of the park. And you just do the best you can every single day. And none of us are perfect. None of us are going to be able to, do exactly what we need to do all the time, every single day, to a T, to, fuel our bodies with every single nutrition and micronutrient needs, right? That's just not realistic in our society, especially with the food available to us. So it's really exciting for us, because as we grow as a family, we're learning more and more and more, not only about nutrition, but even like education. We're researching Montessori schools right now for our son. So if you're out there right now and you got kids, and actually if you got kids right now and you're watching this, go ahead and jot in maybe some things that worked really well for your family with education and your kids. Maybe you homeschooled, maybe you did Montessori, maybe you did the public education system that we have set up across our country, which is great. So if you got some thoughts on that too, I would love to hear any type of recommendations you have for school thoughts, or for like school philosophies, schools of thought, I guess you could say, or even specific things you did growing your family as they grew up that you thought served you and your family really, really well. Because we want to know, we want to learn, we're growing together. And really that's what this journey is all about. That's what this Fit Family Project is all about, is us growing together as a community and being able to support each other when we need help. So this is going to be a 4-part series throughout the month of March. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're so pumped about it. And we want to really tune in into the things that you want to hear about. And like I said earlier, there are definitely some trends that we see. And let me just give you a few tips on some of the things that we've heard from our clients and that we've experienced. And hopefully it will serve you in some way and allow you to, improve the energy, the vitality, the passion of your family together as a crew. Okay? So I'm going to just quickly find a piece of paper, because I want to make sure I don't forget any of these, or the paper I took some notes on. So the first thing, ladies and gents, that we hear, one of the biggest things that we hear that's the biggest roadblock for people when they're trying to get healthy themselves and the families involved, is they don't have time. So they're trying to find ways to eat healthy that's quick and efficient, and they know is better than their other choice, right? Which is, when you're busy and you need to eat, where do you go? Like if you're cruising around town taking your kids to activities and you need to eat some food and you're starving, what options are there? You can't sit down in the restaurant and order food. I guess you could probably call ahead, but then you're kind of eating a big meal in your car, which is weird. Right, where do most people go? They go to the gas station to get some snacks, or they go to fast food or quick meal places like that, like McDonald's, Subway, Hardee's. There's a million different not so healthy options out there. And it can be really tough to actually fuel your family with the right stuff when you're on the go. So one of the things we hear all the time is people don't have enough time. And I totally get it, because time is so limited. And that's why it's so crazy vital to take a little bit extra time when you have it and prepare, some healthy meals for your family for the week. Now, but in this situation, we're assuming you're in the moment, you're going. What do you do, right? What do you eat? So let's just reflect on this. First thing is you want to eat mainly vegetables. Okay, vegetables are low calorie, high nutrient, water dense foods, typically high in fiber, and they have a little bit of protein, low to moderate carbohydrates, and they fill you up. Okay, what's interesting is, have you ever opened a bag of Doritos, right? The popular chip. Have you ever opened a bag and ate just one, right? I think, I'm going off memory here, but I think Doritos' tagline is, you can't eat just one, or maybe that's Frito-Lay's, I'm not really sure, I can't remember, right? Potato chips. But can you ever just open a bag of chips and eat just one? No, you can't. But can you open a bag of broccoli and eat just a few, heads of broccoli? Yeah, you don't have a craving to eat 25 heads of broccoli. It's just not in us. Same thing with fruit usually. Maybe we could have an apple or maybe even 2 apples, but would you ever eat 5 apples in a sitting? Like, I don't think I've ever came across someone that's ever done that. And that's just some type of natural thing we have in our body where our body tells us, yo, I don't need any more of that. I don't want any more veggies. Like, some flips get switched and saying, I'm good there. But when all this junk food is on the market in fast food places, there's no switch that gets flipped. That's why you can eat a whole bag of Doritos. That's why you can have, eat a mega-sized fry with a mega-sized Coke and a huge burger, and you're full, but you just took in 1,500 calories. So what do you do? Well, this is what I would say you do. I would say, if you go to a fast food place, you're not going to find very good nutrition just in general. So what I would actually say is go to like a gas station and look for beef jerky, look for any type of vegetables on the go. If you're in a bigger town and there's a grocery store, there's actually a lot of options now in the deli area that you can get, healthy food to go. There's salad bars you can get. There's actually like packages of veggies you can buy, and you can get some hummus. You could even go to the deli and get like deli meat, and buy some healthy wraps and make some really quick wraps. So there's a few different ways you can go about it, but what you want to do is, it actually would be even better for you in that situation to not even eat anything and just deal with your hunger than to go to a fast food restaurant and cure your hunger with that, okay? I think one of the things, this is the second tip, is that, so that's the first tip, is like, what do you do in those situations where you're on the go and you don't have the ability to cook a healthy meal for your family, you're just rolling, right? And again, this is surrounding, if you just joined us, this is surrounding what we're going to be talking about in March, which is how to create extremely healthy families. And so if you haven't done this yet, click on the link above this video and take 2 minutes to go answer 2 questions we have for you. Because throughout the month of March, we have a 4-part series, and every week we're going to be talking about something different. And we wanted to hear from you what you want to learn about. What problems are you experiencing with your family right now? What problems are you experiencing with creating that environment of support, of happiness, of encouragement, but mainly about your nutrition and your wellness? Okay? So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead, click that, and take care of that. Take 2 minutes, and it'll really help us. And actually, we'll make sure we cover what you want to hear about throughout the month of March. Okay, so the second thing I can say, the tip I'm going to give you about this topic is, I think as a society, we've learned to fear the feeling of hunger. Okay, and I can say that I was very guilty of this and actually programmed myself to having to eat every few hours, okay? And if you need to do that, if you need to do that, in other words, your body needs it, it's not like a mental thing, like you actually need the fuel, you're probably a high-end athlete or you're working out like crazy, okay? If that's not you, you probably don't need to eat every few hours. Now, some people like to do that, eat smaller meals throughout the day, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you stay, within a healthy caloric balance and you balance your macros and, drink an ample amount of water, you're going to be solid. But what sounds more difficult to you? Having to prepare and eat 6 times during the day, or 2 to 3, right? Having to prepare 6 meals for the day, including snacks, or having to do it 3 times. And what if 2 of those times were prepackaged meal replacement shakes that you didn't even have to worry about, and boom, they were done. So, but the feeling, what we're talking about right now, is the feeling of hunger and how we've grown to fear it. When we feel hungry, we think we're starving, and we actually say that. And this is actually a really funny challenge for you. Like throughout this next week, I want you to take inventory of yourself. How many times do you tell yourself that you're hungry? How many times do you tell yourself that you're starving? I used to do this so much, and then when I realized I was doing it, I was like, oh my God, I totally am like creating the story that I'm starving because I have a little feeling of hunger. Like I didn't eat for 3 hours, and now I'm telling myself I'm starved. Like, no, I'm not starving. I'm actually completely fine, have more than enough food available to me at my house, at my business, everywhere I go, I'm great. But we fear this feeling. And so the second tip I want to give you is to actually encourage you to maybe sit in that feeling a little more often. Maybe intentionally for the next 7 days, only eat 2 to 3 times a day, and intentionally go 4 to 5 hours, maybe even 6 hours in between meals. And the only reason to do that is to create the feeling of hunger in your body, and to sit on it. And to sit on it and let it come and go, and then realize that you're not going to starve. You're actually completely fine. Yeah, maybe your body's a little bit hungry, or maybe actually it's not, and you just think it is. But when you feel that feeling of hunger, I want you to just sit in it and get comfortable with it over the next 7 days. And when you do that, you really detach from this fear of, I have to eat, I have to eat, I have to eat. And so I think that's going to be really beneficial with you if you take the challenge on. It's really just a really fun challenge that we've done in the past, that I've done personally, and it really benefited me. Okay, first tip was to stop in at a local gas station, look for beef jerky, look for, if you're a dairy person, look for string cheese or other dairy sources. You can also look for any prepackaged veggies they have in gas stations. The second thing you can do is you can go into grocery stores if you're in a larger area, usually 10 to 15,000 or more, have grocery stores that have delis. Even smaller towns have delis, but the bigger the grocery store, typically they have delis with more options, I guess is what I'm saying. And find healthy foods versus, so this is when you're on the go and you have kids and you're bouncing around your activities and you just don't have a ton of time, which is one of the things we hear from our clients all the time. That's the first thing. The second thing is get comfortable with the feeling of hunger. So don't fear it. Maybe sit in it a little more over the next 7 days intentionally to convince yourself that even if you're hungry, you don't need to open up your fridge and devour it like a Tasmanian devil, right? Because you're not going to pass out. You're not going to starve to death. You have more than enough energy stored in your body for yourself. So that's the second thing, okay? The third thing is to be conscious of your mindset, okay? And what I mean by that is your mindset's going to determine everything. Your mindset about how you feel about your nutrition, how you feel about your energy, how you feel about the health of your family, let alone your own health. Your mindset around that is going to determine what you do and what you say and how you act and how you behave. And if you're in a place right now where you're not 100% happy with your health or with your weight or with your energy or with your family's overall state of being, then you may want to work on your mindset a little bit. And what is it about what you think about that has put you in the position you're in? And everything we have and don't have in our lives is created by us, manifested by us, on the environments we've created, on the people we surround ourselves with, on the thoughts that we think, on the actions we take based on the thoughts we think, and the beliefs and values we hold deep in ourselves. And all of those things kind of summed together create your mindset. And so if you're not 100% happy with your mind, with your health or your wellness or your energy, like I just said, check your mindset. An easy way to check it is to start journaling what you're thinking about. And don't judge what you're writing, just write down what you're thinking. and then do that for a week. Go back and look at what you wrote, and then look at, okay, what are you saying? When you read what you wrote, then it's like you're talking to yourself without the filter that you have naturally in your mind. And so it's a really fun, it's a really interesting way to go about checking your mindset and seeing what you're thinking about. And those are the 3 tips I wanted to give you tonight. Excuse me, I got a little itch in my throat. But again, one last time, I just want to encourage you to go ahead and help us out, because we're going to be talking about how to create healthy families throughout the month of March. And there's a quick 2-minute or 2-question little survey we have that we'd love for you to help us out and fill out. So click on the link above this video, and that'll really allow us to talk about the things you want to hear about and help us create videos and topics to discuss that will directly impact the health of your family. That's really our goal. We want to help you increase the health of your family, whether that be energy, connectedness, happiness, specifically your nutrition. They all kind of relate, but we want to hear from you what you're interested in. And so that's really kind of our mission at Fit Family, is to be able to help you help families get healthier by sharing what we've learned as wellness coaches after working with hundreds and thousands of people over the last 16 plus years between my wife and myself. So anyways, if you joined me tonight, thank you very much. If you're with me right now, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I am excited to move forward in the month of March and talk about creating extremely healthy families, because this is going to be awesome. And we want to, encourage you to jump in the conversation so we can all learn together. So anyways, just wanted to say thanks for joining me tonight. Hopefully that was really impactful. The goal of it was to serve you in some way. And with that, I just wanted to say have a great rest of your night. And we'll talk to you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. On this page, we always have a live Fit Family show called Inside the Family, where we're going to talk about all different types of topics relating to your family, my family, all of our families, and how to get healthier, happier, and more connected together. So with that, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you later.